Welcome to this explainer. Today, we aren't just chatting about the shrinking kwacha as some, boring abstract economic concept. We're diving right into the exact mechanics of how to protect your hard-earned wealth from literally evaporating right in front of your eyes. Whether you're earning a salary, running a business, or just trying to secure your family's future, these are the strategic realities you absolutely have to conquer. We're going to dig into the exact strategies that separate those who build wealth from those who lose it. So get comfortable and let's get into it. Okay, think back to a time, and let's be honest, it really wasn't all that long ago, when a bag of mealy meal cost just K80. Fast forward to today, you're staring down a price tag of K150, or honestly, even more for that exact same bag. You gotta ask yourself, what actually changed here? The bag didn't magically get heavier, right? It didn't suddenly start coming wrapped in premium gold foil, and your money didn't just vanish into thin air. It simply lost its muscle. It lost its power. That subtle, almost invisible loss of power is exactly what we're here to investigate and ultimately defeat. Section 1. What exactly is inflation? The invisible drain on your wealth. By definition, inflation is simply the rate at which prices rise over time. But hey, let's toss out the textbook for a second because the real-world impact, it's deeply personal. What this actually means is that as the months and years tick by and prices creep upward, every single kwacha in your pocket buys significantly less than it did the day before. It's essentially a hidden, continuous tax on the money you already hold. It drains your purchasing power without anyone ever actually having to reach into your wallet. Just think about walking into your local shop back in 2019. Back then, an investment of K500 could fill up an entire grocery basket. It was a solid amount of money that easily fed a family. But walk into that exact same shop today with that exact same K500 note, with the exact same numbers printed on it, and you're only filling half that basket. Literally half. Your money didn't physically shrink, but its real-world utility got sliced right down the middle. To put this into perspective, back in 2021, Zambia was hit by a massive inflation spike of over 20%. Now, I want you to really think about what that means for your household budget. It means the baseline cost of just staying alive and maintaining your current lifestyle went up by a fifth in a single year. If your salary or your small business profit margins didn't magically jump up by 20% during that exact same time frame, well, you were effectively getting poorer every single day you went to work. You were putting in the exact same hours, sweating just as hard, but taking home less actual value. Which brings us to Section 2. Why do prices keep rising? Let's look at the three main drivers of inflation. All right, there are three main culprits causing this. First up, too much money being printed. When a government pumps more currency into the economy without actually producing more physical goods to back it up, you suddenly have an excess of kwacha chasing the exact same amount of products. It's basically a giant nationwide bidding war where prices have no choice but to go up. Second is a weaker kwacha. We import a ton of essential, non-negotiable goods, things like fuel, life-saving medicine, electronics. When the kwacha weakens against major currencies like the US dollar, bringing those items across the border gets way more expensive. And yep, that premium gets passed directly to you at the cash register. And third, supply drops. Think about the ripple effect of natural events like severe droughts. A drought directly lowers our local maize production. Suddenly, there is way less maize to go around, mealy meal becomes scarce, and basic supply and demand dictates that the price of whatever is left is absolutely going to soar. Moving right along to Section 3, the silent savings trap, or why saving can actually make you poorer. Okay, imagine you do the responsible thing, right? You lock away K10,000 in a standard bank account offering a 5% interest rate. You wait patiently for 12 months and boom, at the end of the year, you've earned K500. You check your balance, you see K10,500, and you feel pretty victorious. Your balance went up. But here is the crushing reality. If inflation is running at 15% that same year, the cost of absolutely everything you want to buy just went up by 15%. So your new total of K10,500 actually buys fewer goods and services today than your original K10,000 did a year ago. You played by the rules, you did the right thing by saving, but inflation silently ate your returns and left you with less purchasing power than when you started. So, how do we fix this? Section 4, 5 ways to fight back and outpace inflation in Zambia. Here is your 5-step rescue plan. Number 1, stop funding the bank of the mattress. Cash sitting idle in a drawer is just bleeding value by the hour. It has got to be put to work. Number 2, look at high-yield fixed deposits. You want to aggressively hunt for rates above 10% just to make sure you're keeping your head above water and competing with inflation. Number 3, buy assets that intrinsically hold their value. We're talking tangible things for sure: land, property, or shares in productive businesses. These are assets that historically appreciate in value right alongside inflation. Number 4 is investing in your own human capital, which we'll break down in just a second. And number 5, consider joining a SACCO, which is a savings and credit cooperative. Instead of enriching a massive traditional bank, you pool your resources with a community. In Zambia, SACCOs often give you significantly better dividend returns on your savings, and they give you access to fair, affordable loans to help your money work substantially harder for you. Now, I really want to double down on point number 4, because honestly, your absolute best hedge against inflation, it's increasing your own earning power. Think about it like this. If you invest your time and energy into learning a highly sought-after, specialized skill, that ability might make you K5,000 today. But because you are providing tangible, irreplaceable value to the market, as prices naturally rise everywhere else, you have the leverage to adjust your rates. That very same skill can easily scale to earning you K8,000 or more in just 2 years. By turning yourself into a high-value asset, your income naturally scales up with inflation instead of being crushed underneath it. There is a saying, the people who understand it protect themselves. The people who ignore it lose wealth slowly without knowing why. Look, inflation is not just some abstract theory debated by politicians on TV. It is a daily, relentless reality happening to every single Zambian who earns a wage or tries to save a kwacha. The only difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is knowledge and strategy. It's about whether you choose to understand the rules of the game and actively protect yourself, or just turn a blind eye and let this invisible force drain your legacy slowly. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final crucial thought. You've now seen behind the curtain. You know the exact mechanics of the invisible thief that is actively stealing your purchasing power. So the real question is, what exact steps are you going to take today to protect your wealth? Are you going to let your kwacha keep shrinking? Or will you take action and outpace it? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, I highly encourage you to start putting these strategies to work right away.